Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well today. I am here today with a part one of making a disc-bound journal. And the reason I'm doing that is I have started to work in my journal that I made, my art journal. Let me get that. And what I have found is that while I love working in it, to me, this seems more like it's going to end up being more of a glue book. And there is a difference, somewhat. It doesn't have to be. But I just feel like the pages are big, and this would work more for gluing and some painting and things like that. But I wanted something that I could take the pages in and out very easily. And that would be a disc-bound journal. Now, this is not one. A disc-bound is something that works on these little round discs, okay? And that's kind of what I want to do today is make a journal like that. And the reason being is that the pages can just pop right in and out. This is the cover of this one. I don't have anything in it. But they pop right in and out. And then you can put them back in. See, here's a page right here on this. And you just pop it out. And you can put it right back in. Okay, so that is why these types of journals are cool. Whether it be for a junk journal, mixed media, you can work on your pages, put them back in, and that is, a great idea. And for the people who don't want to sew in their journal, or they just want to do a page or two at a time, they don't want to have to do a whole journal. This is a great way of doing that. If you're going to use it for mixed media, I had bought this to use for mixed media, and it's great to use it just like this. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But if you want a system in which you can take your pages in and out, this doesn't really work that great. You could, if you wanted to do that, just do a ring-bound journal and put some rings in it. That would work. You don't have to do a disc journal. But I think my problem with the ring-bound journals is they're kind of floppy. And I think this would be a cool way to make a journal, whether it be a mixed media journal or just a junk journal. And that's why I'm kind of letting you guys give you a heads up, because I'm sure that you could think of a lot of different ways to use it. The way that I'm going to show you is how I'm setting up my mixed media journal, but the system would work the same if you're making a junk journal. You just would put your junk journal pages in there with the disc system, okay? I happen to have a lot of these little disc systems because I do the Happy Planner thing, and I am really bad about keeping. I'll do really good for 1 or 2 months and then stop for a month or two. Then I'll do good for 1 or 2 months, and I've just kind of given up on me doing it because I don't know. It's become stressful. I have felt stressed trying to do it, so I'm trying to alleviate stress. So we'll see. Maybe someday I'll get better at it. But first off, if you want to get a mixed media pad like this, and it's not that expensive, and I'll put the link in the description box. I got this off of Amazon. You can get them anywhere. This one is, it probably says on here, 7 by 10, which I think is a great size because it'll work really good if you buy a package of these discs. You can buy these discs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For one this size, which is a little bit smaller than that, but it works for, well, it'll work for what we're going to do. You can buy a package of these discs for really cheap. A lot of times they go on sale 40 to 50% off. I think maybe they're $4 or $5. You can buy them online. So the disc, you can buy the disc by themselves. I happen to have a lot simply because I have a lot of the Happy Planner system, and they come with these discs. You can buy these discs that are not Happy Planners, and it works the same way too. So, and I'm right about now, they ought to be having all this stuff on sale because, you know, we're already into March going into April. So by the time you see this, it may be April. But the thing is that you can very easily get these for inexpensive, and they're reusable. So anyway, what I was going to show you real quick is what I did is there's several options here, okay? And I want to show you both just so that you can see what your options are. Okay, what you can do is you can purchase this little punch system that the Happy Planner people make for the disc, and I don't know, other people may too. And if you want to tear out your mixed media pages, or not even just your mixed media, let's just say you want to put in scrapbook paper pages or whatever pages you want, you would cut your page down to size. I'm pulling out one for here. It's perforated, so I'm just going to pull it out. These are perforated pages, okay, and it's mixed media. But I mean, the same system would work for if you were just to take some scrapbook paper and you would cut it, you know, if you wanted to cut it, you could put it in your journal. You just cut it to the size that you need, and you would do exactly the same thing. If you have journal pages that you've printed, you would do the same thing. You're just binding them a different way. Anyway, I kind of eyeballed the middle, which is probably not a great way to do this. I probably should start measuring. But anyway. And what this does is it makes these little, it's kind of like a half disc hole. And then it has the little line in there. And that's great because your pages just slide right on. They will just slide right onto the discs, okay? And the cool thing about that is that if you are doing a journal, no matter what kind, whether it's mixed media or not, you can work on your page and then just put it in when you're done, okay? Let's just say you're doing mixed media. You could take these right out, and they come out easily. Okay, because they're on that system. Right? And you can work on your pages, do whatever you're going to do, and then they just pop right back in. All right? And that would be your system. That's your binding system. And they work pretty good. I mean, I've used the planners before. They don't come apart. Now, if you pull it too fast, you can rip it. You're supposed to place them on the disc, so that's how it works, okay? Now, the problem with me, what I had with this is I wanted to make a cover for my journal, and I wanted to use chipboard. Get it up here. I wanted to use some chipboard, and my chipboard would not fit in this little doohickey right there, okay? So I will show you what I did to fix that. But first I want to show you an alternative to this thing here. This I bought and I think it was like $20, but then I bought it when it's 50% off, which usually is right about the time they start discounting the planners. All their stuff will be marked down, and a lot of times this will too. So it'll be $10. Your discs are $5, but I mean it's a reusable supply. But if you don't want to buy this and you still want to use the disc system, let me show you an alternative. Get it out if I can find it. I'm getting confused. Okay, this is if you take your book apart, right? You're going to end up with a bunch of pages like that. Where's the back cover? And you're going to have a front and back cover, okay? Now, what you can do, rather than having to go out and buy the little punch for the system, if you want to make this page work in the system, what you can do, you have two choices, okay? The first one is you already have all these squares in here. You can go every other square and cut a slit right there and then one right next to it because it has to be like a little bit bigger than just a slit, okay? So I hope you can see that. I'll try and go up higher. So I'm just doing this. Oop, every other one. I did two together. You're not supposed to do that. Every other one. Okay? Every other one. All the way down. In the middle. Somewhat. Doesn't have to be perfect. It'll still work. Okay? And you just go all the way down. And there you go. Now, do that, and you can do it to your cover also. Where'd my cover go? This is my front cover. This is my back cover, and I did exactly the same thing. I just went down every other one, and I just cut a slit, and I, went next to it and cut it. And this will work. Where did it go? Take this off. I'm going to take this off of this one. I'm not going to use this cover. Now, I could use the cover that came with it, and, But anyway, so if you wanted to use the cover that came with your mixed media thing, guys, I'm telling you, that little system, you do not have to buy the little thingy to go with it. It pops right in there. Okay. Do that. So this is the back. Here's our page that we just did the little punch thing in. Make sure I get it on the right one. Because you already have that little square there, that allows the disc to roll around it, okay, just as it would. And here's the top. Here, I'm going to show you another couple of pages that I did, just to give you an idea how this works. Yeah. So these would go right in there. Okay. And here's the cover. And I cut it. I did exactly the same thing as I did to the back. And you could go ahead and put your pages in now, or you can do them as you need them. But look, you've just created a disc-bound journal, okay, without having to have the little punch thing, okay? And what's really kind of cool about this way of doing it is, if you notice, get one. Oh, it's thicker than I thought. See, that's just, oh, it's two. What's cool about doing it this way is that you still have this perforated edge here of your paper. So let's just say that you're using it for mixed media or whatever. When you're done, if you wanted to take that out and place it in a journal or do whatever, you're just pulling it out. You just can tear it right out, and that's cool. I mean, to me, I think that's a cool way of doing it, and you don't have to have the little the thing. I mean, look how easy this is. You just go every other one. And I don't know, you may be on the paper be able to do it without, doing the double cut. Oh, I did two again together. I keep doing that. No wonder it seemed like I was cutting a lot. But it's every other one. And I still think I did that wrong. 1, 2. Yeah, I did. Anyway, I'll have to do that one again. I did it wrong. I did too many. So I got to do the second one and then the next one. It's not that hard. I'm doing every other one. Yeah, I knew it wasn't the bottom one. Okay, so then I only cut it one time. I didn't do the big slot. Let's see if it fits in there. Now, I think the cardboard, definitely you would want to do it twice. You want them to easily, turn and everything. So, yeah, see, I think it would work just as easily that way. It doesn't turn as well as if you do the bigger slot. So you probably do want to do that. But it does work with just one. So it does a little bit better as far as turning if you go back in and do that. Okay. So this is if you want to use this mixed media paper and make a journal with that. Okay, so then that would just pop right in there. It pops right in. Just as good as a disc punch, I think. And so that gives you an option of doing it that way, and then you can just, paint this and decorate it or cover it with paper, do whatever you want to do, and then you've created a journal with that. Now, I do want to tell you, if you want to do the disc system, remember I was saying I had a really hard time because I wanted to decorate some chipboard on this to use it for that, okay? So here's what I did. First off, I figured out the size that I wanted. I don't have to measure it to the other one because I won't remember what it is. I think it was 7.5 by 10.5. Pretty sure. Pretty sure it was 10.5 or not. Let me see. I'll have to measure it. Let me measure. Kind of hard to do with the discs in there, but oh well. Do it on that side. Yeah, it was 10.5 by 7.5. That's what I thought. So I'm going to go 10.5 inches here. This is chipboard. It's fairly thick. So I'm going to go 10.5 right there. I keep moving it. 10.5. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do that several times because honestly, let's see if it will. It's not going to cut it all the way, but it will cut it part of the way. Let's see if I can get it back on the line on the back. I can line it up right at 10.5. That'll get me right to where my line is. Oops. Come on, stay right where we're supposed to stay. All right, and that gives me that. And then 7.5. Right, so seems like it's a little taller. No, I guess it's not. Okay, 7.5 this way. Okay, let's do that. It almost cut it all the way through. All right, 7.5 right there. Okay. So anyway, here is my piece that I need. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my other one that I already did, but what you want to do at that point is you want to line up your, pull this out. Figure out where you want your holes. And I just took one of my pages. Let me pull all these off. I just took one of my pages and I lined it up where I thought I would want it, okay? And then I marked it, okay? I just marked each little hole. Now I'm going to line this up with the other one to make sure it's, you know, because I had already done this one. But basically that's all I did is I went through, where'd my pen go? Or pencil, it doesn't matter. And I just lined them up. Here, let me see. I don't want to get this. I want to do it the same as I did this one, so. Okay. Anyway, so what I did is I took this, I'm just using this for an example, and I just basically put it on here where I thought I would want it. That does not seem right at all. So I'm going to take this one. This is the one I did before, so that way I know it'll line up. It did. And anyway, you're going to mark it with your wherever you want your holes to be. Okay. So this basically, you would put that on there. That is weird. Okay. Well, I guess it does line up. So you're going to put your holes, mark where you want your holes to be. Okay. Now, I would put this in the little punch and punch it, but it will not fit. It's too thick. It's not really meant to do that. You may have a chipboard that fits in there. Mine doesn't, okay? But this not only solves the chipboard problem, if you want to do the disc thing and you don't want to use the squares and cut them, you can just take a hole punch. See where I line these up? Wherever you want your discs to be. And you may not even want to use that many discs, so. And you can punch some holes. I'm using a regular hole punch, so it doesn't really do that great with this, but we're going to go ahead and anyway, I'm going to go all the way across here and get these done. I'm trying to stay even. That's why I did the top of the hole, so I could kind of gauge it. You could draw a line from one to the other to make sure that you're getting them equal, you know, where they're supposed to be, but I'm kind of not doing it all that quick. Okay, so then what you do is you go through and you're going to do basically the same thing. Is you're going to cut a hole, you're going to cut a line and then cut one right next to it so you have a little slit, okay? And you're going to do that all the way down. And you could do this, honestly, guys, on every page if you did not want to have if you were doing a just a regular journal and you're using regular pages and you weren't using the mixed media paper, then you basically could do a disc journal by punching holes, okay? And then just doing this slit. Every single page you would do exactly the same. So all of your pages would be done this way too. So you basically move all that over here. So then, guys, this is how that works. Is you've got a front and a back, okay? I don't know if one goes a different way than the other. Let's see. Yeah. That's why I wanted to measure, because one will always be off a tiny bit. And so basically, guys, you're just going to put this on just like you would the other one with the half circle. It'll work exactly the same. And your pages will work just like that too. So if you decide you want to do this and you're not doing a mixed media and you're just doing a regular old junk journal or any kind of journal, or you want to put all different kind of pages in it, I mean, because a lot of art journals, you're putting all different kind of papers in there, magazine, this would be a way to do it. And you would do every page exactly the same as I did that cover. You do not have to have this punch to do it. Okay, so we're putting that in there. That's our middle. Here's our end. Okay. And that goes right on there like that. And look at that, guys. You have made a cover. And you've made, you can do the pages. Like I said, you can do the pages exactly the same as I did the cover. You do not have to have this fancy little punch to do this. You can just do your, punch all the holes out. Now, I'm not going to not lie to you. The punch is a lot faster. But, I did that upside down. See, that's where I need to measure my pages as I put them in there. Because I can tell this one's in there wrong. Or I just did one completely on the wrong spot because I wasn't really measuring. I don't know if it'll work that way or not. But anyway, that is how you would make your disc-bound journal, guys. That's the mechanics of it. You're just, then you could decorate this and cover it and do whatever it is you want to do. It's pretty simple, okay? The little hole thing works the same way as the half. If you look at the little half circle, it works exactly the same. It turns just fine. So, I mean, every single page could be like that. And I have, a couple more here. I have no idea which ones I did. Let me see. And the thing you have to realize on this is that you're just you get to decide what you want to do. You get to decide how you want to put your journal together. So anyway, that's all I have on this, and next time I'm actually going to decorate this. So that's it.